Photographs are one of my favourite starting points for devising because they're full of ideas. There's the story behind the photo and the story in the photo itself. So here's some activities to get busy with. For this stimulus, I'm going to use a photo by a photographer called Gregory Kreutzer. It's called Untitled Ophelia, and it's from his Twilight exhibition. Scribbled Responses. This exercise is similar to ones on paintings or music, and it's a really good starting point. Print off the photograph in a large format that's comfortable on the eyes and easy to look at. Don't look at it on your phone or on a screen. Pin it up and look at it on a wall or a board. Take 3, 5 or 10 minutes to look at the image and scribble down everything that comes to mind. It may be single words, sentences, lines of dialogue, memories, references, or simply things that you see in the photograph. Try not to overthink or judge what you're doing. Just keep looking and writing. With my photograph, I'm putting down words like reflection, drowning, flood, out of breath, numb, cold, and comfortable. After you've finished, come together as a group and speak aloud your words and phrases. Discuss what stands out and is interesting. Then compile all of these responses and put them into a single document. This could be a scrapbook or a digital folder. All of these words that you've written down are potential starting points for making drama. Accurate recreation. A physical task is to accurately recreate the photograph. Fill your rehearsal space with people, props and lighting and recreate the photo in the flesh. Recreate the fine details here, such as what someone's facial expression is or what they're doing with their hands. And finally, use a camera to capture the same perspective as that in the original photograph. With my photo, it won't exactly be easy to flood the floor, so I'd try to find a shiny floor or a mirror to recreate the idea of reflection underneath the woman. Through doing all this, you'll analyse, explore and understand the photo with much more accuracy. This physical task could then develop to become a tableau in your piece. Aesthetics and design. Study the photo in detail and make a list of everything that you see. Be specific here, don't just say sofa. Use the description grey faded leather sofa, for example. This list gives you many objects that you can use as starting points. Can you source or find all of these items? Could you use one of the items as a starting point for a scene, an image, or an improvisation? Also take notice of the colours, the textures, and the lighting in the photograph. Consider copying these aesthetics in the stage design of your piece. Don't worry about coming up with new ideas. The photograph is full of all of this aesthetic data and it's begging to be used in your piece. Borrow and use as much as you can. Before and after. Consider what's happened moments before and what will happen moments after the photograph's been taken. You could create a tableau or an improvisation of these two moments. You could come up with all sorts of different befores and afters and then hold on to the ones that are most interesting. In my photo, I'm going to imagine that in my before, there's the sound of a car pulling into the driveway and someone stood outside the front door having an angry phone call. My after would be that person entering the house and rushing over to the woman who is afloat on the floor. Can this photo be the central event in your piece and you could explore what's happened before and what happens after it? Create a soundtrack. Use your imagination to respond to the photograph with music. Study the image and consider scribbling down some ideas. Then go about compiling a list of tracks, a soundtrack for this photograph. You could create a shared playlist on Spotify for your group. Then play the pieces of music as you look at the photograph. Discuss as a group which pieces work well with it. For my photograph, my first 3 tracks in the playlist would be The Murder by Bernard Herrmann from the Psycho soundtrack, The Wilhelm Scream by James Blake, and The Night Window by Thomas Newman from the 1917 soundtrack. From those tracks that you've collated, you could use them as underscore, or you could use them as music to create movement to. Memory test. This is a simple game that will help you realise and appreciate all the detail that's in the photo. I mentioned previously about how much data there is in the photograph. Tiny details, little things to spot and appreciate. In pairs or as a whole group, create a list of about 10 questions that you're going to ask other members of your company. These questions should be about the photo, such as, what colour is the woman's dress? How many ornaments are on the table? What is the time on the clock on the shelves? Is the cabinet on the stairs open or closed? What's the book on the table? Then test your partner or other members of the group and see how well they know the photograph. You can even offer prizes if you want. Through doing this exercise, you will deepen your understanding of the image and really appreciate all its detail. What's out of frame? You've spent a lot of time thinking about what's inside the frame of the photograph, but remember there's a whole world outside it as well. Create a list of objects or people that are outside the frame. Are there more details about the location of it? Is something happening that is missed by the photographer? Be creative here, don't feel the need to be too literal about it. For my photograph, I like the idea that there's no roof on the house, or that there is a woman stood at the top of the stairs looking down. Use these ideas as starting points for developing a story. You're taking all the ideas within the image and opening it up and expanding it to explore new territory. Finally, have a think about a component that gives the photo a whole new meaning. For my photo, the twist could be that the house has been flooded by someone else in the house as an insurance scam and unwittingly killed the woman. And there we go. There's 7 different approaches to working with a photograph as a devising stimulus. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, please give it a like. Do check out these other videos and subscribe. And if you want to support what I do on the channel, you can click on the link in the video description. All the best.